Well, I mean, from a training perspective, my undergraduate degrees are in biology. My postgraduate degrees are in human biology and neuroscience. But for 20 years, I worked for the insurance industry in a specialized area of life insurance. And if we got 5 years of medical records on you and 5 years of demographic data, we could tell the insurance company how long you had to live to the month. And it is some of the most accurate science in the world. In fact, the new variable basic tables on mortality are based on a lot of the research that came from this industry. And when we talk about predicting mortality to the month, remember that life insurance companies have some of the most voluminous databases in the world, hundreds of millions of lives, and they have information that no other database has. I mean, if you look at the medical community and research foundations and universities and even the CDC and the FDA, the information that insurance companies have that nobody else has as voluminous is they know the day, the date, the time, the location, and the cause of death for anybody that they have insured, right? On life insurance. And not only do they know the day, date, time, location, and cause of death, but they also know all of the medications that person was on. They know their family history. They know their demographic data. They know their financial history. They have intimate knowledge of their medical records. And in fact, usually before the policy was issued, they even did their own blood testing. So they didn't just put that person on a mortality curve, like an actuarial curve. They were able to drill in on their specific mortality because they know liver enzymes and kidney poison levels and this level of anemia at this age and this history of smoking and this genetic predisposition, that all of these conditions, which are called mortality factors, put into the same body, combined with something called comorbidity factors, led to this causality of death. And if you add this pharmaceutical, it accelerates. If you add this pharmaceutical, it elongates. And so that data of knowing the date of expiration, if you will, on so many lives and triangulating that back into the medical record is how you become so accurate with your predictions. And if you want to know how accurate insurance companies are, just look at what happened in the 2008, 2009 financial crisis. We had 364 banks fail? Not a single life insurance company failed. Not one. Right? I mean, we're going through the 16th money-centered bank now that they said is in financial trouble after the Silicon Valley Bank. You haven't heard that from one life insurance company. In fact, had it not been for the life insurance division of AIG, the credit derivatives side of the business would have sucked the entire company under. And so these are some of the most solvent and profitable and stable institutions in the world. And what do? They take risk that no other financial institution takes. No angel investor, no venture capital firm, no hedge fund, no investor of any sort would ever put that kind of risk on a single variable. I mean, when a life insurance company puts 25 million or 50 million or 75 or 100 million, which was very common in my industry, of risk on one life, they're betting on one variable. How many more months does this person have left on earth? And so if you really follow life insurance trends and mortality trends, you'll find out where the real science is going. So for example, watch what happens to the pricing on vaccinated, boosted, double boosted, triple boosted patients. Watch what happens to the table ratings on those patients, and to the point where they
you believe it's going to shorten?
Oh, there's no question. I mean, as you add vaccines and add boosters, you will become further and further and further table rated because they have the data. I mean, they were onto the opioid crisis long before.
They won't admit that probably.
Well, they're certainly not going to publicly admit that, but have two 55-year-old males apply for the same life insurance policy with virtually identical blood work, virtually identical genetic histories and financial circumstances. One's going to be rated table 3, one's going to get standard insurance, and the major variable is going to be.
What's table 3 versus standard?
Table 3 is a table rating, means it's a more expensive level of insurance versus a cheaper level of insurance. It's very likely that you'll start to see those table ratings increase.
So somebody smokes, somebody drinks alcohol, somebody has high blood sugar. Right. Those are all factors.
Yeah. What we call